So the first time I heard inner child, I was like, what? What do you mean by inner child? What are you talking about? Are you really trying to address something that is very shady here or anything? But as time went on, I got to understand that inner child just refers to, in my opinion, your past self that have been through something that has been unattended to. And as you move on in your life, that past self of yours reflects in your life one way or the other. And mostly it can help you to figure out the things that are not going well in your life and the things that have been left unaddressed that needs to be addressed, and also the things that are probably going well but something is just getting in the way all of a sudden. So last year was the time when I did a little bit of inner self work, and I realized I had a lot of unaddressed issues and I started working on them. I could not continue for a long time because I came to a stop because it's a lot of emotional work going on, and I advise that if you really cannot handle this by yourself and you don't have any strong support, please do this with your therapist or a professional or a trusted person that gives you unlimited support. Because throughout these kind of journeys, people's words can be so affecting because obviously they don't know exactly what you're going through. So in this video, I'm going to share 5 inner self healing questions that I asked myself, and it helped me to look at the parts of my life that I never knew existed and needed to be addressed or to be worked on. This is a very quick disclaimer. I am not a therapist. I'm not a professional. This is just what I did to start the whole thing about trying to figure out my younger self's issues that have been left unaddressed. Is probably what is affecting my life at this time. If you don't think that you need this at all, please do not do this. It's not necessary. But if you think this is something you want to experiment to see, if you want to even see a professional, or this is just a way to just figure out or see a new part of yourself, and you're absolutely comfortable with the idea after hearing my 5 questions, then you can go ahead and proceed. The first question is, what is the biggest lie I tell myself consistently? We may be doing a lot of things to ourselves without even knowing. And mostly it comes with saying things to yourself. You can say things like, I'm not as pretty as this girl. I think that dress would never fit me. She has the best body. And this and that. She's a good person. I think I'm not that good because I did this or that. And telling ourselves these things sometimes could be true, but most of the times are just lies. Because how do you know that? You're only seeing yourself from the perspective in which you're putting your mind in, and you're telling yourself to look at yourself back in that way, if you get what I mean. If you put a mirror down and you look at yourself and say, this dress looks so bad on me and that girl wears it better, then you have tuned your mind to believe that that dress does not actually fit you. Maybe that dress does not fit you in the way it fits the other person because you're wearing it wrongly for your own self. Because mind you, you're different from another person. That is why sometimes when people style clothes, it looks so great sometimes, but other times it looks different when it's on other people. The reason is that those clothes are meant for each and every individual differently, to style them how it suits them. Yes, telling yourself that a certain outfit does not fit you could be an absolute lie. This is not only about outfits and body types, but it cuts across a lot of things. So many lies or so many things we say to ourselves, and it's just not true. Watch the things that you say to yourself. Eventually you believe them and you'll be stuck in a mindset you have created, and it will be so hard to get out of that place because that particular space is not where you're meant to be. You've just put yourself in that mental prison. It's going to be hard to feel yourself and eventually be happy about who you are. Second question is, when am I the hardest on myself and why? Well, growing up, we've all had situations or times when we have been so hard on ourselves because of a certain circumstance, or our families, or where we grew up, or our educational institutions and how we were trained around these kind of spaces, families, school, and other things. And yes, most of the time we carry these things along with us as we grow up, and eventually some of these things result to us being so hard on ourselves without even knowing. I grew up being a perfectionist, something that probably comes with being a first child, but I wanted a lot of things to be mostly accurate. If not 100%, it has to be 80% accurate at some time. And eventually, when I got to a certain point, I became so exhausted. I didn't know how to even make these things perfect again, but I'll still beat myself to it, and eventually messed up a lot of things for me. And that is just my own. What are the things that you beat yourself so hard for when you probably shouldn't be doing that? Maybe that thing that happened is really not your fault, but you're beating yourself so hard for it, thinking that it is your fault because maybe that is how you've been made to believe about certain things like that, or the people around you right now are making you believe that it is actually your fault. Have you really sat down with yourself to think about how everything happened, if it is truly your fault? Because really, come on, nobody knows you better than you know yourself. So why are you going to let people's narrative direct who you are, or tell you who you are, or tell you how you should treat yourself 80% more than you believe yourself, and give yourself that credit of 20%? When have I felt betrayed, and what would I say to that person who broke my trust? Betrayal is pretty common among a lot of people, among almost each and everyone. You felt betrayed in one way or the other, but sometimes we only associate betrayal to all these big things and drama among friends and all that. Something so simple that you may never know that action felt like betrayal to you may actually be betrayal. That is why you need to sit with yourself and ask your question. What is a certain situation that have made me feel betrayed? Who is behind the breaking of that trust? And when you are able to sit down and ask yourself that question, you set some time aside to search deep within yourself, and you may definitely find something. Maybe you're covering it up and making it look like you're absolutely okay, and you don't want to address it, you don't want to talk about it, you don't want to think about it. But that is certainly a part of your life that is probably chipping away good things that are coming to you, and the good people that may be coming into your life because of this one thing that is buried deep down. Maybe you may be covering it with an excuse of, I don't think I am okay with being around people right now or making friends. But you're probably just scared because of something that might have broke your trust years ago, but you shoved it away and refused to address that situation. And eventually knowing this would help you feel a little bit relieved, and also think about how best you can deal with that feeling. Last question is, what can I start doing today to make my younger self proud? We've all had dreams that people still hold on to, but dreams that might have changed. It doesn't even have to be dreams. It can be something that sounds as simple as finding true love. It could be even something that quite seems simple to other people, like owning a certain lipstick brand. It could be just anything, but what is something that you can start doing today in order to make your younger self proud? Maybe you have the dreams that I've mentioned, or you've dreamt of the things that I have mentioned, and your younger self would really love to have or be in those dreams, but you're not yet even closer to being happy, to be a certain kind of creative person. But the question right now is, what can you do in order to make your younger self proud? Because think about it, if you're going to make your younger self proud, that means also unlocking a certain kind of happiness that could add up to your life and make you feel more fulfilled with who you are, and even better. Nothing is too late to begin. It's so beautiful when I see videos like starting my life at 30, and then it clicks me, because sometimes I feel like I'm getting old and I'm not yet close to my dreams at all, and I'm not proud of what I'm doing or who I am, but I actually should be, because at least I'm chasing something that sounds like me, that feels like me, and I should be proud of this journey. This journey is going to teach me a lot, but I am going to go through it, be proud of who I'm becoming at the end of the day. I hope this video was helpful to you, and I hope it was also relatable. Please take your time to write down these questions and also try to take all the time you need to answer them, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.